Every morning, millions of people follow the same routine. Wake up, stretch, turn off the alarm, head to the bathroom, maybe pour a cup of coffee. But there's one habit so common, so automatic, that could be silently putting your brain in danger. A habit that doctors have started warning older adults about, because this habit could trigger a stroke without any warning signs. Today, we're diving into one seemingly harmless part of your morning that could dramatically increase your risk of stroke, especially after age 60. And most people have no idea. Meet Harold. He's 68. Retired, active, in pretty good shape for his age. Every morning, like clockwork, Harold jumps out of bed, splashes cold water on his face, and takes a quick walk around the block. It's part of his daily ritual. But one morning, Harold collapsed on the sidewalk before he even made it halfway. Paramedics arrived. His wife was in shock. The diagnosis? A sudden ischemic stroke. No previous history, no warning, no pain, just sudden confusion, numbness on one side of the body, and slurred speech. What happened to Harold is becoming increasingly common, not just among people with high blood pressure or a history of heart disease, but among otherwise healthy adults who simply make one crucial mistake first thing in the morning. To understand the danger, let's take a closer look at what your body goes through each morning right after waking up. When you wake up, several physiological changes happen all at once. Your blood pressure spikes. Your heart rate increases. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises sharply. And your blood becomes temporarily thicker and more likely to clot. Why? Because your body is transitioning from a resting state to an active one. This sudden shift puts added pressure on your heart, your blood vessels, and most importantly, your brain. And if you add one more habit into this mix, it can create a perfect storm for a stroke to strike. So what is this habit? It's suddenly standing up and rushing into activity, especially without drinking any water first. Yes, simply standing up too quickly, especially while dehydrated, can drastically increase your stroke risk. Here's why. Overnight, your body loses fluids through breathing, sweating, and even urinating. By the time you wake up, you're slightly dehydrated whether you feel it or not. This makes your blood thicker and slower to circulate. Now add the sudden spike in blood pressure from abruptly getting out of bed, and the stiff blood vessels that naturally come with age. You've got a dangerous combination. Dr. Emily Rhodes, neurologist. When someone over 60 jumps up out of bed without hydrating or giving their body a chance to adjust, their blood can pool or pressure can spike too quickly. In some cases, this is enough to trigger a clot or vessel rupture resulting in a stroke. Let's talk more about dehydration. Most people underestimate how much water their body loses during sleep. In fact, studies show that by morning, the average person has lost nearly 1 liter of fluid just through normal respiration and sweat. When you're dehydrated, blood becomes more viscous, thicker. Circulation slows down. Blood pressure can fluctuate more sharply. The risk of blood clots increases. Combine that with stiff arteries in older adults, and you can see how easy it is for a clot to block blood flow to the brain. And yet, so many people wake up, skip the water, and jump straight into action. Maybe even strain during their first bowel movement of the day, another pressure spike. Harold, remember him? He did exactly that. He got up fast, skipped hydration, and took his morning walk. That's when his body couldn't compensate, and a stroke struck. So how do you know if you're at risk? Here are a few warning signs that your body may not be handling morning pressure well. Feeling lightheaded or dizzy when standing. Dry mouth or dry skin in the morning. Cold hands or feet upon waking. Frequent leg cramps at night or early morning. A racing heart or irregular heartbeat upon standing. Even if you don't have high blood pressure, these signs could indicate that your cardiovascular system is under more strain than you realize, especially in the morning. And it's not just strokes. This habit increases the risk of heart attacks, sudden blood pressure drops, and even fainting, leading to dangerous falls. Let's break down what happens during an ischemic stroke, most common type, especially in the morning. A blood clot forms usually in the heart or large arteries. That clot travels to the brain. It blocks an artery, cutting off oxygen and nutrients. Brain cells begin to die within minutes. Time is everything. The faster a stroke is treated, the better the chances of survival and recovery. But here's the scary part. Most morning strokes happen within the first hour of waking up. Before breakfast, before coffee, before people are fully alert. Which is why so many go unnoticed or untreated until it's too late. The very first thing you should do after opening your eyes isn't jumping out of bed. It's drinking water. Just one glass of plain water, around 8 to 10 ounces, can help thin your blood after a night of dehydration. Gently activate your circulatory system. Reduce blood viscosity, lowering the risk of clots. Jumping up too quickly after sleep can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, especially in seniors. It's called orthostatic hypotension, and it's dangerous because it reduces blood flow to the brain, causing dizziness or fainting, increases the risk of falls and injury, can trigger the movement of a blood clot leading to a stroke. So, remember the 3-step 30-second rule. Open your eyes and breathe deeply for a few seconds while still lying down. Sit up slowly. Let your legs hang off the bed. Wait at least 30 seconds. Then stand when you feel stable. This simple routine gives your cardiovascular system time to adapt and could be life-saving. Stabilize your heart rate and blood pressure before you begin moving. Make it a habit to place a glass of water on your nightstand before bed. When you wake up, sit up slowly, take a few deep breaths, then drink the whole glass. It's a small action, but it can make a big difference. Cardiologists say, drinking water first thing in the morning can significantly reduce your risk of stroke and heart attack, especially for older adults. Jumping up too quickly after sleep can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, especially in seniors. It's called orthostatic hypotension, and it's dangerous because it reduces blood flow to the brain, causing dizziness or fainting, increases the risk of falls and injury, can trigger the movement of a blood clot leading to a stroke. So remember the 3-step 30-second rule. Open your eyes and breathe deeply for a few seconds while still lying down. Sit up slowly. Let your legs hang off the bed. Wait at least 30 seconds, then stand when you feel stable. This simple routine gives your cardiovascular system time to adapt and could be life-saving. After hours of sleep, your body is like an engine that hasn't started. Muscles, joints, and blood vessels are all at rest. If you begin walking or exercising immediately, especially in cold weather, your cardiovascular system may go into shock. Here's what to do instead. Spend 2 to 3 minutes doing light warm-up exercises. Shoulder rolls, wrist and ankle circles, gentle knee bends and arm stretches, light tapping or patting on your legs to stimulate circulation. This doesn't just boost circulation, it helps wake you up gradually and reduces sudden strain on your heart and brain. Think of your body like a car on a cold morning. You need to start the engine and let it warm up before you hit the road. Let's return to Harold, the man who suffered a stroke one morning. Thankfully, he got medical help in time. But recovery was not easy. It took nearly 8 months of physical therapy before he could walk confidently again. Since then, Harold has completely transformed his morning routine. He always keeps a glass of water beside his bed. He always gets up slowly and takes deep breaths. He always warms up his body before going for a walk. His wife shares, "I used to think he was really healthy. But now I know even one small mistake in the morning can take everything away." You can't control age. You can't predict the future. But you can control how you start each morning. And sometimes, just a few simple changes, a glass of water, a moment of stillness, a few slow movements. That's all it takes to protect your health, your independence, and your life. Let your morning be a time of healing, not danger. You deserve strong days and peaceful years. And that new chapter? It can begin tomorrow morning. Protect your brain. Start with your morning. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to share it with someone you love.